been a very long time since I booted up EU4. Hello my gravy timmies and welcome back to the Mega Campaign 2022, where if you haven't watched the first part in CK3, you probably should. You've missed quite a lot. But if you don't know what the Mega Campaign is, you've somehow ended up in this video accidentally. It's where I play a single save game between CK3, EU4, Vic 2, and Hearts of Iron 4. Now, EU4 is probably always the weakest part of the Mega Campaign in my opinion, just because it's my least favorite of all of the games. But today, hopefully, I can have some fun. Now, usually I would go around and clean up a few of the map that I know would never get fixed from CK3 into the conversion. But believe it or not, I didn't actually have much I needed to change. I think the only thing I did change was I had 2 landlocked provinces I own over here in North Africa that I just gave to these guys, and that is pretty much it that I've changed. A lot of people always ask, oh well, why do you do this, why do you do that? And it's simple, because as soon as we get into Vic 2, the map won't change. So you really need to set up the stage for people to actually become powers or regional powers really early on, or else you won't get any conflict at all in Vic 2. But as you can see from the map already, well, hopefully the AI cleans up a lot of this. I don't think the AI is going to clean up a lot of this, I'll be real with you. Now, there's a few things I've noticed because of the new CK3 culture system that's kind of weird. Of course, we made our own Chat Italian culture, which is firmly sat now in the middle of Italy. But I also noticed some cursed stuff, like over here in Bohemia, we have Czecho-Anglo-Saxon. I'm not too sure how the English ended up over here, but they're there. And I really have no words for the Turco-Danish, the Khazaro-Norse over here. I do remember a little Viking kingdom popping up over here at some point, but they did not last too long, and they've been wiped out by Armenia, which is Hayastan. Now, obviously, for religion, things got a little bit complicated, as I did behead the Pope in Rome and eat him alive. There are a few things that I do have to point out, though. Obviously, our Viking religion is still pretty much all over Europe. We've got a bit still left over in the UK, and obviously all of Italy and in Greece. And Catholicism is still going, but the Muslim powers, well, the Reconquista didn't get reconquisted. And I'm not too sure when this happened, but the Byzantines also flipped over to Coptic, which means Orthodox is just kind of here. And yes, we do start with King Chadasun. As for the rest of the world, we did end just as the Mongol invasion stopped and exploded into all the different factions, and as you can see, I don't even want to try to comprehend the religious map mode over here. Yes, without further ado, we are going into Chadwick, our empire in Italy. And already you may think I'm extremely powerful, but believe it or not, because we didn't get much development done, we're not really too strong. In fact, I have noticed that a lot of the high development is down here in Spain. I get the feeling these guys are going to be pretty powerful. Also, I think the most developed province I can actually see is over here in Baghdad. I guess the Mongols didn't manage to reach it this time around. Alright boys, you're a Viking kingdom stuck in the middle of the Mediterranean. What do you do? Number 1, do a bit of accounting. Alright, so the economy actually isn't doing too bad. We do have quite the large army starting off with, but I don't really plan on doing any further conquests in Europe just yet. I think we're going to sit back, try to figure out the trade situation, and then maybe get ourselves a colony at some point. But we are going to very carefully pick our rivals here though. I think the Byzantines probably makes a lot of sense. If I was going to expand somewhere, it would be to protect my Viking brothers down here. I feel like I'm a bit optimistic rivaling the Golden Horde, but sure, why not? And I also feel like Al-Andalus might be a bit of a bother for us, considering I think they're probably the strongest power in Europe besides us. A bit of a shame. I can't select a deity. I guess we ate all the pigeons. I just realized as well that I own an island over here. That's You always figure out some weird stuff about your country when you convert it to EU4. We still have a few of our Viking friends who I've immediately allied. I've allied with Africa, who is Tunisia down here, and the Germans, who were the Holy Crusade state that I popped down that immediately exploded. And yeah, they got a lot of claims and they just own a lot of random land. I don't see them lasting too long, but sure. As you can see, that's not a very good air. I think we're just gonna have to click that button there. Now your culture is a little messed up when you've kind of blended some weird elements together, when you've got a guy called Hoctor Liexia. That's a 0 in his name. Say that wasn't a great air, but our past air literally was a 000, so of course, following tradition, we're going to call him Cheddar. Nice. We're still doing human sacrifices. I mean, it'd be wrong to change it at this point. It is a integral part of our tradition. Alright, now we do have ourselves a mission tree, which I'm going to start going through. We've got some interesting stuff in here that is a bit of a mix between the Italian tree, I imagine, and then the Viking tree. Ah yes, the Cultural Revolution, the Renaissance, poems, art, literature. We do still do human sacrifices. I'm not sure if that fits into the Renaissance or not, but we got it. Alright, of course I went with the exploration idea as our first idea. And it didn't really matter because I can't reach anywhere. I'm just a few points away. And that is with the colonial range guide too, so it might be a little while before we get colonizing, but our brave Viking sailors are off out discovering new places for us to pillage. Also, yeah, I just noticed that Ghana is huge. Yeah, also, woo, why not? Bit of religious sacrifice. Okay, Germany just sent me a little insult there. Is that sorry thing on your head would pass as for a crown? Look at your country right now. I only got in the Diplotech to be able to colonize, and we've got our very first colony. I broke my alliance with the Germans after their devastating insult, and they aren't looking too good after that one. I have received a few claims from my mission tree already, and I would actually like to push down here into the Balkans, but unfortunately Bavaria is allied with Al-Andalusia, which has a magnificent amount of troops. Now, I would love to be able to deal with this, but I cannot deal with this at all. So I'm just patiently waiting. Maybe that alliance will break at some point. I was kind of tempted because they are currently killing Africa down here, but I get the feeling they're gonna piece this out immediately as soon as I declare war on Bavaria. God, okay, so I could call in my two allies who would actually join. Africa doesn't look like they want to join. I can't put my finger on why. But you know what? I think I might just try it. How bad can it go, right? Right? One thing I hate about EU4 the most, it is the warfare. So this will be fun. Just realized they pieced out down here, and the Andalusian armies are all going the wrong way. That's not how you get home, boys. I think this has actually gone pretty well. The AI just kept naval invading me, so I just kept blowing up their armies. And we can get ourselves the peace I want, which are these two provinces right here, and then breaking their alliance with Andalusia, which that's not cool, bro. Well, look who came crawling back. Okay, Germany, do you even exist on the map? And yeah, no, we can't be friends, I'm afraid, Germany. Oh my god, we have discovered new land. I wonder what we will name it. Chamerica! Unsurprisingly, in the land of Chadwick, we're not very inventive. We were literally born of generations of men that could not read. And we've gotten birth of colonialism, which makes sense as we are out here in the new world. Grinding, I mean oppressing. You know, I was kind of sure the Golden Horde might fall apart, but I think they've just gotten larger. I mean, their tech is on par with everyone over here in the West too, so maybe we're gonna see a pretty powerful Golden Horde. Real question is, has the religious map mode over here gone a little more simple? Nope. I want to keep going down the coast over here and the Byzantine Empire, and I think it should be fine, but they are allied to Polabia, which, great name. Also absolutely huge. But my great allies of Africa and Thessalonica will join me, so I guess we're pillaging, boys. If you thought the British Isles couldn't get any more complicated. So we did manage to get a couple provinces in that Byzantine war, by the way. It didn't go too well though. I only got a couple, and then yeah, like Abyssinia, the Byzantines, and Polabia all turned up at once, and I very quickly peaced out. I was like, you know what, North America, that seems fun. North America is not fun at all. There's a lot of tribes with a lot of troops and a lot of land. I don't know what's going on in Europe. It's just France and Polabia eating everything in sight. We're giving it a shot. I should have way better tech than them. So let's see. Watch out, guys. If I take this much land, the Powhatan would be very upset with me. A war on one native over here, and then I kind of have to like dodge the minefields of the random natives I'm then at war with because they're allied to them. I think we're a few centuries late, but the Mongols, I guess we're gonna have to call them now, are pillaging the Byzantines, which sounds like an opportune time for me to get involved. For the past few hours, I've not been doing a lot. I've mostly been sitting here and making our trade absolutely flourish. But the problem is, a lot of our trade is getting stuck over here. And it's getting a bit of a struggle to get a lot of it out. So obviously, the only thing we can do is introduce ourselves to that trade node forcefully. Yeah, now problem is that these guys are absolutely huge, and Andalusia is a powerhouse. I do get a whole bunch of claims on North Africa through my mission tree, which yeah, Africa's, yeah. Shout out to the French AI that just made my life a hell of a lot easier. You think you've seen it all, but then you see Irish Mexico. I was staring at North America for a while. I've just come back, and Palabia's not looking too cool right now. Also, Ireland pretty much has all of the UK. Just not all of the UK. I also gotta say, this is fairly impressive. Are you still alive? Why has nobody killed you yet? You know what, sure, just because, like, I respect the hustle here, Germany, you're back in the team. I have been waiting for an opportune time to slap the Byzantines around, and I think this may just be it. I've just been a little preemptive about doing it, because now that I have land over here, I'm just a bit assuming that if I do declare war, that someone might also declare war on me for their land back. But thankfully, I do have allies now. I've got Ireland, Hungary, and the Golden Horde, which is just disgustingly large. Jeez, in we go. I even called Hungary and the Golden Horde in, and I promised them land, so hopefully I remember to give them it. I think that'll do nicely. We'll fix the rest of this later. I meant to give that to Hungary. Why did it even let me take that? Thankfully they wanted to buy that from me, otherwise things would be a bit of an eyesore over here. Not that they're not already an eyesore everywhere. I guess the Golden Horde decided they didn't have enough land just yet, and now they're taking Swedish Russia! Polabia used to be huge, but just over the course of like 100 years, they have become not very huge. Sure, I said in CK3 that I probably wouldn't ever have to worry about the Mongols being my problem. Now I'm too scared to say no to any of their call to arms. Oh, France is currently at war with Andalusia, and I notice they've also got some rebels over here, which might be really good for Ireland if they can kick the French out of Britain. Please, everyone else is beating up France right now. I'm coming in. War's going well. Really well. Thankfully, my ally, the Golden Horde, is pretty much coming in clutch and destroying all of the French army. So I've had a bit of a free reign over here. Just realised from that Irish army right there that the Irish actually went to war with France, and you have a Irish British Isles. Although I guess we're just gonna call them the the Irish Isles. Here you go, there is the peace conference. I took the 2 provinces I had claims on through my mission tree over here, which means I can finally click that. And then I gave a whole bunch of cores back to Lotharingia over here, just to cut off the French snake over here in North Germany. Oh, I guess now we're going straight to war with Byzantium. Africa just gave me a gift of 69 ducats. You trying to get me to remember the fact you exist somehow still? Well, France is kind of in shot. The Byzantines are getting repeatedly shot, and Denmark is now Hanover. Except they're still hanging out in Greenland. The year is now 1727, and the world has pretty much taken the shape I imagine it's going to be taking into Vic 2 at this point. Pretty interestingly enough, though, Asia has pretty much been completely untouched by Australia and New Zealand by the Andalusians, and the New World is split up between me, the Irish, and then also Andalusia. Europe is still pretty much undergoing maintenance now that I look at it, actually. The Byzantines are pretty much gone, though, and whatever's happening in Central Europe and Germany in general is still up for debate. But there is one thing I would like to do as my kind of final act of expansion, and that is to bring Africa back. Which means I'm gonna have to go to war with Andalusia, and that is a lot of troops. That is disgusting amount of units in a battle. The battles get a little bit crazy late game EU4, don't they? Casualties from this war, I imagine, are going to be pretty insane. Time to see the damage. Oh yeah, just a couple million dead people in 1738. Was it worth it? I'm not entirely sure it was. Just noticed as well that Abyssinia isn't in Abyssinia. Obviously, we're in the Age of Revolutions, and of course, the Age of Revolution has spawned a revolution in the island nation. I guess I'm gonna have to go stomp it out. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a complicated one, I think. I'm just gonna go back in time and forget I ever even declared war on them. The great 2 million dead people over Tunisia war. I'm not up for it. Yep, it's spreading further. Revolutionary Scandinavia. Can we get ourselves a revolutionary golden horde, perhaps? The Industrial Revolution Institution is here, and it has spawned in Albazin, the most industrious place in the world. Okay, buddy, okay. You know, the flag of revolutionary Serbia looks a little familiar. I think at this rate, I might be the only absolute monarch left in Europe. I was wondering when the colonies might come into question. It looks like Andalusia is currently supporting independence of all of my colonies. In all fairness, they are very large and all hate me. World War II time, I think. Just think it's only fair if they attempt to overthrow my colonies, I get a shot at overthrowing their country for the second time. There you go, just another million men dead between us. There you go, just carved out a little bit more land there. I don't actually plan on holding this land. I'm just gonna set up a puppet state over here. So it gave Germany a bunch of like the Andalusian land over here in southern France. It's been a while since they owned the land down here, but I guess they're back. But they for damn sure ain't anywhere near Germany. You know, I think it's time we get rid of New Chadwick. We're going to do it before they just bring everyone into war for their independence. Yeah, it's just a friendly, you know, going our different ways type deal. No animosity. We could still be friends. I've just had enough of you. You're a pain in the ass. Well, I guess it's Florida. Okay, they very quickly changed their mind about that one. So we are going to keep Vinland and Louisiana for now. They're much easier to keep a hold of, especially now that we've gotten rid of the main instigator of the problems. Now, Palavia really needs to make up their mind if they are coming or they are going, because this is like the 5th time they've been reborn into the world. Glad to see that the American War of Independence is actually being fought against the Irish right now. I mean, in EU4, it's like, what the hell do I even spend this money on? I've ran out of building slots like 100 years ago. I guess it's because I haven't really taken a lot of land in comparison to what I could have taken. So, yeah, I've just kind of been stockpiling the gold. No idea why I've done this, but I have declared war to contain the revolution that has spawned from Ireland once more. It is time to quell the silly ideas that people deserve the right to vote and that women exist. Hey, the invasion is going well, as long as you don't factor into the fact my navy has been annihilated. Yeah, quite literally, there is no coming back from this invasion, boys. You either win it or you're dying here. That was actually not that bad. The Irish army absolutely sucked. Now, how exactly do I get you guys home? We have 28 transport ships left. It's gonna take a while. I also took their colony Louisiana off them, so it's gone into my colony now. I don't know if I'll be keeping this or not. I'm not too sure. I just beat the Irish up so hard they turned British! It is now 1806, and with the destruction of the revolution in Ireland, which is now Irish Britain, which is Great Britain, which is Great Britain but Irish, I think we have secured the Empire of Chadwick to survive another day. I'm not too sure there's going to be anything I'm really going to clean up for when I move this into Vicky 2. I think for the most part everything is actually kind of okay where it is. I will look at some stuff like this random disjointed province from Hungary, and maybe do a few other little things here and there, but the only real reason we ever do a bit of map clearing when it comes to Vic 2 is because in Vic 2 there isn't a lot of conquest, so you won't really see a lot of these small states ever equate to anything at all. But for all the large states in Europe right now, I won't be touching any of them. I won't even touch this weird bit of France that's inside of Lotharingia. I think what's going to be pretty interesting going into Vic 2 is the fact that Asia was just untouched for the entire game. No European powers really went over here at all. I did get myself a little charter company over here, but that is about it. And once again, Ghana is just... Ghana is huge! So I'm not too sure how that's going to translate to Vic 2 exactly, but we'll see, I suppose. The same thing will go with the colonies. A lot of the colonies, I'm going to try to make them break free from their overlords. But we'll try and do that naturally. I don't think I'll just decolonize them immediately. But with no further ado, this is the end of EU4. We are number 5th great power. We're not exactly the best. We're not exactly the worst. A lot of it does just come down to development. I did not take a lot of land this game. If you look at my starting portals from where I left off, we haven't grown a lot. And I did also give up my my United States colony too. I was mostly just focusing on pushing trade and making money. And boy, did we make quite a bit of money. We definitely could have made a lot more, but alas, I did spend the majority of my points for the last few years just because tech didn't really matter, on simply culture converting everything to chat Italian, and as you can see, it's gotten quite far. Oh, I'm gonna need everyone to pour one out though for the Turco-Danes. They did not survive to the end of the game. It's definitely gonna be an interesting Vic 2 game, especially just because of powers like the Golden Horde, which is just goddamn insanely huge. But the powers we really have right now on the great power list is Spain, obviously, Golden Horde, Scandinavia, which is pretty much Germany, I suppose, for the most part, and then we obviously have Lotharingia as well, which I guess could also be Germany. None of them are actually German culture though, although I guess they kind of are. It's really hard to tell, because like literally right in the middle here we have the Franconio-Cornish. How did the Franconio-Cornish get here? Yeah, the culture map mode is just absolutely everywhere. I'm not too sure how this is going to go into Vicky 2, but I cannot wait to see how it does go into Vicky 2. So here is the final map. Have a good look. Have a good intake on what might happen in Vic 2. Leave your predictions down below. Here's the religion map. Yeah, wow, that's a lot of Vikings in North America. A lot of Muslims in South America. It's also kind of funny, I completely forgot about Protestantism, but the only place that really took off was in Poland, and Poland has just kind of been trapped by Scandinavia. This has definitely been a wild ride, and the Chadwick Empire has decided that it's time to move forward. We didn't end up being the #1 power here, but we will in Viking 2. I have no doubt about it, please. But yes, if you enjoyed this EU4 part to the mega campaign and you want to continue the journey on into Viking 2, make sure you hit the sub button. Hit the like right next to it too. Wow, that helps the video do stuff, I imagine. But yes, anyway, on to Viking 2.